back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your support. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this two-layer off and shoulder dress. So it is actually an off shoulder with strap. So that's what I'm going to show you. It is the bodice is divided into two, the top and the down part. So that's what we're going to be learning how to sew. It is a very simple dress. So even as a beginner, you'll be able to actually cut and sew this dress after watching this video. So if you are new to Stylish Naija YouTube channel, you are highly and very welcome. If you have not subscribed, please, I will appreciate if you hit on the subscribe button to get an update whenever I upload a new video. And then you can also hit on the notification bell to also to get an update. I think I said that before. Okay, so if you want to register for my online classes, you can see my number scrolling through the screen. Just send me a message on WhatsApp and then I'll give you the details of the classes that we have available right now. Okay, so let's get started. So for this dress, I'm going to be making use of about 2 yards of fabric. It might not necessarily be up to 2 yards, but once you have 2 yards, you are good to go. So I have, for mine, I'm making use of an Ankara fabric. So this is 6 yards. So I'm just going to use about 2 yards out of this. So for you to cut this dress, you need to get the frame of the upper body. So that is why I have this fabric here. So this fabric, I'm going to use this to cut out the top part, which is like a basic body. So let's just get started. Okay, so I have my fabric here, so I'm going to explain. So since it is an off shoulder, we're going to be dropping with 5 inches. So that strap is going to be 5 inches. So I'm just going to place my tape like this. This is the 5 inches, which is for the off shoulder, the strap. And then I'm going to cut the half cut, which is 17 inches. And then I added 2 inches that I'm going to use for my allowance. Okay, so that's for that. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're just going to start. So for folding my fabric, so I'm using the biggest part of my measurements to fold. So the bust, I'm using 32 inches for the bust. So I added, so you divide it into 4, and then you can add about 3 inches allowance just to fold your fabric if you are not making use of a pattern. So the next thing we're going to do now, from this part like this, I'm going to measure the shoulder. So for the shoulder is actually 14 inches, but I'm going to divide it. Sorry, I'm going to take out 1 inch from it. Normally, when you divide your shoulder into 2, you're going to have 7 inches. So I'm supposed to mark here, but because it is an off shoulder, I don't want it to be too wide. So I'm going to take out 1 inch. So I'm going to use 6 inches here. And then I'll just add half of an inch to it for stitching allowance. And then from this point, I'm going to mark out the sleeve. So for the sleeve, I'm going to use 9 inches. I'll just mark this point like this, and then I'll create a curve like this. So I'm just using it my free hand. So I'll just create a curve. So now this is my armhole on this part now. This is my armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark the bust measurement. So for my bust, like I told you, I said the bust is 32. So this is 32. So this dress, I'm not going to add any dart to it. So I'm just going to add 1 inch for stitching allowance. So from this point, I'm just going to mark like this. And then for the down part, I'm going to, that's the waist part. The waist is actually 36. You divide into 4, you have 9 inches. So I'm going to mark 9 inch, and then I'll add 1 inch also here as allowance. So from this point, I'm just going to do this. So this inner bodice, you can decide to make it a little bit wide. So for the neckline, I'm going to use, on this, the neckline part, I'm going to use 4 inches width. So I'm going to mark my 4 inches like this. And then the depth of the neckline, so because it is an off shoulder, remember your 5 inches. I'm going to place like this, and then I'm going to mark just about 1.5 inches downward. So I'll curve this like this. You understand? So I'll curve it. So I use 1.5 inches. You can see. Because take out your 5 inches. And then from this point, I'm just going to float this into my armhole. So it is a very simple process. Do you understand? Just float this like this into your armhole. So we're good to go. So that means we'll cut out the front piece. So this is where I'm going to add my straps. You understand? So the next thing now, I'm going to use this to cut out the back piece. So if you are using a stretchy fabric, you can decide not to add a zipper allowance. But if you are not using a fabric, if you are using a fabric that is not stretchy, I would advise for you to add a zipper allowance to it, just like this. So like I said, I'm not adding any dart to it. So the next thing, what I'm going to go and do now, we're going to cut out the down part of our dress. So the down part, we are going to, in cutting out the down part, you know what we used initially was 19 inches. So the full length of the gown. Now that's what we're going to measure. Let me just keep the back. So you take it like this. Remember our 5 inches, and then you are going to measure the full length of your gown. So the full length of my gown, I'm making use of 37 inches. So now you're going to count how many inches you're going to cut out for the down. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I'm going to cut out about 18 inches. You know, there's an extra inches there. So give or take, I'll just round it up to like 20 inches for the down part. So I'm going to cut that out now. So for the down part, if you notice from the fabric, it looks like it is not actually a flare, and then it is not a straight. Okay, so for the down part of my fabric, so I've cut out about 22 inches width, and then the length is about 21 inches length. So for the width, you can decide to cut it however you want to cut it, as it depends on how full you want it to be. The one on the original picture, the fabric is already pleated already. So mine, I'm going to be pleating it, but I don't want it to be too full. You understand? So I cut out, I'm using about 22 inches width, that's on fold. And that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to keep this on the side, and then we're going to work with this bodice now. So what I'm going to do now, take it back to my machine. I'll go and join my fabric. That's the back and the front piece. I'll go and join them. So I'll join them on the side. Like I said, I'm not adding any dart. So I'll join on the side like this. So after joining the side, I'm going to bring it back and show you how I'm going to join this to the down part before joining the top one. Okay, so I finished stitching my top bodice. So the next thing, so like I said, this top part, this down part is not really straight. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slope this part a little bit. That's from the top part. I'm just going to like just do this just a little bit, so that I'll have that the down part will be a little bit wider. So you can decide to just do it like that, as in plait it like that. So you see, just to have that kind of like a line kind of shape. So the next thing now, this I'm going to plait it round. So I'm just going to plait it on my bodice like this. So just do tiny pleats. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then before I come back, and then we'll cut out the top one. Okay, so I finished stitching it. So I finished joining it. So you see, I joined it. So you will determine how full you want yours to be. So now I'm going to cut out the top part. So I want you to pay close attention. So I'm going to just fold my fabric like this, because what I want to cut out is going to be like an A line for the top bodice. So this you can do in two ways. So after cutting the bodice, that's the top bodice initially, you can decide to cut it out, as in that you use this top body. This is the front part, and then this is the back, to cut out the top part. Oh, but mine, I've already joined mine. That's I've joined the back and the front, so you can cut before joining. So that's what I mean. So I'm just going to take this like this. Note, I'm not working with the back, I'm working with the front part, and this is the front. So I'm going to place it like this. So I just want to trace it out. I'm going to trace. So this part is, I'm not working with this part, I'm working with, because I need the neck line part and the armhole part to be the same. So that's what I want to try to achieve. So I'm going to come like this now. I'm going to mark my neckline part like this, and then I'll mark the armhole part of the front. So I want you to note. So this is the neckline for the front, and then this is the armhole. So literally I've gotten the shape of the front piece. So I'm just trying to double check. So I've gotten the shape. So this is what I'm going to use to cut out now. The next thing, you're going to consider the length where you want it to. So you know the front one is going to come on top of this part a little bit. So I'm going to increase on this part. I'm just going to measure like 1 inch below. So I'm going to take this out now. So I'll make this visible for you to see. So this is what I have now. This is my armhole, and then this is the neckline. So from this part now, I'm going to open this up like this. So this is my armhole like this. I'm going to open this part like this because I don't need it to be tight. You understand? So I'm going to open it up to come to those points like this. So you see what I'm doing? This is my armhole. So it's like I'm flaying it out. So that was why I was saying you can actually do this before joining. So to make it open. So because when you sew, it's going to fit into that point. So for the neckline part, if you are going to add and gathers on the neckline part, that means you are going to increase the width of the neckline. So mine, I'm not going to add it. I just want it to be almost like a little bit the same. So even if I'm going to add just like half of an inch, which I don't think I will do. So I'm going to cut out now. So when you are cutting this part, please note the width. Make sure that this part, if you want it tight, you make it the same, but if you don't want it tight, just increase the width. So this neckline part, I'm just going to cut a little bit above it. So I'll use this to turn out. So I'll open it up and check. So you see what I have. You see it is looking like what we have on the picture already. So you see the neckline part that I was talking about. So because of the little inch, the half inch that I added, so you see I have it. It is a little bit wider. So I'm just going to do like two tiny pleats, very tiny pleats that I will not be really obvious, just to turn the neckline like this. So this is the front piece. I'm going to use this now to cut out the back. I'm going to use this to cut out the back. So I'll cut out another one that I'm going to join on the back. So I'll cut it out and then we'll go and start joining them. Okay, so I've finished cutting out the back. So here's what I'm going to do now. Take this back to my machine, and then I'm going to turn on the neckline part, just on the neckline. So I'm using this just like a facing now. So I'm going to take it this way. This is the right side. I'll bring the right side. This is the right side. Okay, no, this is the right side of my fabric. So I'm going to take it like this, and then I will go and stitch, turn the neckline. So after that, I'll just stitch it like this, and then this flips to this part like this. So I'll go ahead and do that now for the front. And then the back pieces also. So this is the back. So for the back also, this one also, I'm going to turn. So this is for this. Okay, sorry. This is for this neckline. This is for this. So I'll go ahead also and then turn it. So I'll turn it from inside out. I'll stitch it from the inside and then flip it. So I'll go ahead and do that. But I'm not going to join the side. I'll just do that and bring it back so you will see. Okay, so I finished stitching. So I'm going to show you now. So this is so I stitched it from the inside, like I said, and then flipped it like this. So this is the neckline. So you see it is looking beautiful. And then this is the back piece also. I did the same thing and then flipped it over to this part. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to stitch the armhole. So these are the armholes. This is the front armhole. This is the back armhole. So I'm going to stitch it from the inside again, like this, from this point, and then stitch this other one also. Note, I've not joined the side, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that so it will be neat. So it will be neat. So I'll just go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so I finished stitching around the armhole. So you see the armhole is neat, the neckline is neat. The next thing I'm going to stitch, I'm going to join the sides together like this. So this is the side of the top body. So you see it is hanging. So I'll just go ahead and stitch the side, and then I'll stitch the side and then finish up this armhole properly. So you see how it is looking. So the next thing, after that, I'm going to cut out my strap. So for the strap, I'm going to cut out 10 inches of strap. That's in the length. It's going to be 10 inches. You know, when you fold it into two, you are going to have 5 inches that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to fold it. I'm going to cut, and then I'll just stitch it to be like a strap. I'll cut it about 2 inches, and then I'll fold it neatly. So you can decide to just fold it very neatly and then finish it up to a straight strap that I'm going to attach between the front and the back. So I'll just go ahead and do that now. I'll show you how to attach the strap. Okay, so you see, so I've joined this side, so you can see, so this is the side of my dress. And then, so I've added the strap. So for the strap, what you're going to do, like I said, you measure the 10 inches, because when you fold it, it's going to be 5. And then you fix it from the inside. So I just opened and then place and then stitch back. So this is the back armhole. I'm going to open up this part, this point like this, and then I'm going to put it inside, and then I'll stitch it from the inside. So I'm just going to go ahead now and do that, and then I'll place it on the mannequin for you to see. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is just join the back. So for the zipper part, I'm going to fix the zipper on the both, as I'm going to it's going to go into this flare one. So I'm going to fix the zipper here like this. So the zipper is going to be up to this point. But if you are making use of a stretchy fabric, you really don't need a zipper, because it is a stretchy fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll place it on the mannequin for you to see how it is looking. So like I said, for the down part, if you want the down part, you notice that the top part is a little bit flared than the down. So if you want the down part to be flame like this, like the top part, you can decide to do that. You can decide to just use, and the way I measured it, just use, open it up more on the side so it will flame more. Okay, so at the end of the day, so you can see how our off shoulder dress, strap dress, is looking like 2-layer dress. So for this down part of the skirt and the top part, depends on how full you want it to be. You understand? If you want it to flay, the down part to flay very well, what you are going to do, you are going to fold it like a flay, and then you cut it. If you want it to be a fuller A line, you fold it like an A line and then cut, and then the top part also. So it's just a simple process. So you see the top. So you see how the middle part is looking like. So you see the inside, how it is looking like. It's beautiful. The inside part is straight. It's just straight, and then you have the flake covering it. So this style, you can actually adapt it into any style. As you can adapt it, you can use it for a jumpsuit. That is, you can make the straight part of your jumpsuit and then use this and cover it up. You can adapt it into any style of your choice. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, I would appreciate if you hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.